Good morning, students. So, in this session, let us discuss about telescope. See, telescope is one of the optical instrument. Here, in the previous video, I already discussed about one of the optical instrument called microscope. In microscope, there are two types. One is simple microscope, second one is compound microscope. So, that too is already explained in the previous two videos. Okay, in this video, I want to explain about the telescope. See here, telescope is a optical instrument used to observe the very far objects. So that's why there are mainly two types of telescope. One is a terrestrial telescope, another one is celestial telescope. Astronomical telescope we'll consider. See, astronomical telescopes can be used to see the different planets and also moon. So it is having a large distance observation. And a terrestrial telescope, it can be seen the nearby objects. See, there are two types of telescope on the basis of the medium what the refracting and reflecting medium what they used. So there are mainly two types, as I told. Refracting telescope. Here the phenomenon of refraction of light takes place. Another one is reflecting telescope. It is the phenomenon of reflection of light takes place. So let us discuss one by one. The first one, see, the ray diagram can clearly explains how the image formation will be takes place. See, if I want to see the objects bigger in size, if I want to see the objects in bigger in size, suppose say it is an object and this is what the observer I will consider. If the observer close to the object, I mean the size of the object appears to be bigger. If the observer moves away from the object, the size will be appears to small. So same phenomena observed, same phenomena is used in the telescope also. If I brought this object closer to the observer, then the size is appears to be magnified or it is larger in size. So same thing happens here also. We are using in this refracting telescope two lenses are used. First one is objective lens. This objective lens is a very bigger in size. So very bigger. See, in our telescope in India, in Tamil Nadu, what we call them as Kavaluru, there is a telescope what we call them as refracting telescope whose diameter of this lens is about 2.34 meter. Just you can imagine how much it is big. So such a type of big lenses can be used here whose diameter is about 10 meters. So that is the biggest telescope in the world. So that will be present in Hawaii and USA. So that will be about 10 meters diameter. 10 meters diameter means you can assume that almost 30 feet. 30 feet diameter of this lens. That is the very biggest refracting telescope in the world. Now how it will be works to explain that one. So consider this objective lens can brings this far object close to the observer. See here, let us consider this is the light coming from the moon. From the moon the light is coming. Let us consider two parallel lights here. So one light is passing through optic center, without deviation it can passes. Another light parallel to this one, that will take deviation because it is a converging lens. It will bends closer to the principal axis. This is what the principal axis, closer to the principal axis. Now these two parallel rays after refracting converges at certain point here. So this is the point where these two rays can refract and converge. Here the image of the moon will be obtained. That should be inverted image. This is what real image. Now this moon is close to the observer. Now this moon is close to the observer. See what happens if you brought close the observer, object to the observer, the size of the object appears to be bigger. Same phenomena is used in the construction of telescope also. So when the very far object is brought near to the observer, this observer can see in the magnified form. That's why telescope is used to see the very far distance objects. It means refracting telescope contains two lenses. One is objective lens of a larger aperture area. Aperture area means surface area available for refraction. It should be very large. And this is an eyepiece. It's a very small lens. Very small lens is used. Now, see, the ray diagram clearly explains how the image formation can be takes place. Here, when parallel light enters to a big objective lens, it will converges and it will forms an image. This image is inverted real magnified image. Real magnified or real image. Actually, we are getting not magnified, it is a real image and it should be a certain size. Now, here we can make this position such that this image is formed exactly at the principal focus of this the eye lens. This is the position. This is what the position here. See there. Exactly the image, real image is obtained exactly at the principal position of the eyepiece or eye lens we consider. Now this image, real image, acts like an object for the second lens. Now we can clearly see the image in the magnified form. See, this image is obtained at infinity. This is very large in size. So it moves up to the infinity. Now, with the help of angular magnification, we are going to derive an expression for magnifying power of the telescope. So to define magnification, let us consider alpha. This is what the angle. Alpha is the angle between the principal axis and the direction of incident ray. So this is the definition of alpha. Alpha is the angle between the principal axis and the direction of incident ray, alpha. This is vertically opposite. Same angle here, it is alpha. Consider this is an alpha. For this alpha, you see here we are observing a right angle triangle here. So this is what the right angle triangle. For this right angle triangle, let us apply, we can apply a trigonometric function. So apply tan alpha. Tan alpha. So definition of tan function says that it is opposite side divided by adjacent side. So adjacent side value is f0. From here to here it is f0. Opposite side value is h. H is the height of the real image of the far objects. Now to define this one, h is opposite side and f0 is the adjacent side in this right angle triangle. Now I will consider another angular value here, beta. So beta is the angle between direction of principal axis. It means with respect to principal axis, whatever the refracted ray obtained by the eye lens. Now this angle is considered as beta. Since it is vertically opposite, so this is also beta. Now this beta is in this right angle triangle. So this, for this angle beta, h is the opposite side and f0 or fe is the adjacent side. So again apply tan function. So tan beta is equal to, tan beta is equal to, which is opposite side here, h now, h divided by fe. So what is f0 here? F0 is the focal length of the eye objective lens. And what about fe? Fe is the focal length of eye lens. Now we are getting tan alpha. Since alpha and beta is a very small value, we can consider only alpha here. Alpha becomes h by f0. And what about the beta? Beta is equal to h divided by fe. So this is alpha and this one is beta. So according to definition of angular magnification, m is equal to the ratio of beta to the alpha is called angular magnification produced by the lens, which is equal to, so alpha, beta is h divided by fe whole divided means we can take the reciprocal of this one, f0 divided by h. H will get cancels. The remaining term is m is equal to f0 divided by fe. So this is the formula which helps to find the magnification of the telescope. especially a refracting telescope. So the sum of these two, f naught and fe, that will give the length of the telescope. So length of the telescope is given by sum of the focal length of the objective lens and the focal length of eye lens. So this is what the length of the telescope. From here to here it is called length of the telescope. So whatever the image is obtained is at infinity. Then how to define magnification of the telescope here? It is defined as a ratio of the focal length of objective lens to the focal length of eye lens. So it means according to this equation, it clearly says that if I want to increase the magnification of the telescope, one should increase the focal length of objective lens. So if I increase the focal length of objective lens, obviously the resolving power, the ability of the resolving power increases, right? Magnification increases. So according to this equation. So this is about the refracting telescope. Actually, this refracting telescope is having some limitations. Limitations means drawbacks. Certain problems are here. So the main problem of the main limitations of this refracting telescope is, so the first one is, if I increase the size of this lens, so since it is a convex lens, the edge is thin compared to the middle portion. So if I want to hold this lens, see, if the size aperture area goes on increases, when size increases, the thickness, the weight of this lens is also increases. To hold this small portion should be difficult. So since it's a very small portion, at the edges it is a very small portion, it is difficult to hold such big lenses. That is one of the drawback of this telescope. If I want to make this much of large, 2.34 meters, that is what the biggest telescope in India that is present in Tamil Nadu. So that should be used by Indian Institute of Astronomers, Bangalore. You know that in Bangalore there is an Indian Institute of Astronomers that telescope, that peoples will use the telescope present in Tamil Nadu, that astronomers can use. Now here, that is one of the limitations of this refracting telescope. The second limitations of refracting telescope is, since the small portion of this lens acts like a prism, when the white light enters, it can split up into 7 colors. That is what we call them as chromatic aberration. So that is the limitations of refracting telescope. So there are mainly two limitations of refracting telescope. The first one is, it is very difficult to hold a very big objective lens because the edge is very thin. That is one. The second one is, since the light enters through the lens, it will cause us chromatic aberration, because during refraction the dispersion of light can take place. That will cause us chromatic aberration. That is the second limitations of refracting telescope. But to overcome these limitations, there is a better telescope, what we call them as refracting telescope. In refracting telescope, we can avoid that physical balancing. Here it is very difficult to balance this lens, but if I consider refracting telescope, the balancing point is very large in area, so that will won't affect while constructing refracting telescope. But that is an effect in constructing the refracting telescope. While constructing reflecting telescope, that problem will not occur because we are using a mirror, reflecting mirrors, right? So to explain this refracting telescope, this is what the ray diagram. This is the tube, a long horizontal tube can be considered. So at one end here, a larger aperture area, concave mirror. So this is what concave mirror. That mirror, what we call them as objective mirror. Can remember what type of mirror is used here? Concave mirror is used. So this portion is silver and this portion is a reflecting surface. And another mirror is used here. It is a secondary mirror, what we call them as. This is convex mirror. You can remember. This one is convex mirror and this one is concave mirror. It is fixed at one end of the tube. And for this, there is a large surface area which can be held physically. That will not available here. It is. See, when the light is enters through this telescope. So this is a parallel beam of light coming from the far distance. It is incident on the reflecting surface. This is a mirror and it will reflect it. It will obey laws of reflection, and it is incident on the secondary mirror. Again, it is convex and it will be converges, and this convergent image should be formed or focused to the eyepiece. And if you see, and this portion, the far distance should be close to this, and it is a acts like a refracting telescope. So this is invented by Cassegrain. That's why this telescope is also called as Cassegrain telescope. The inventor name is given for this one. So for the difference between Cassegrain telescope and Newtonian telescope. So Newton has invented one of the telescope. In that telescope, here the secondary mirror is not convex, it is a plane mirror. When it is a plane mirror like this, if it is a plane mirror, the light will reflect and will come out. Here it is the observer eyepiece is placed. If the eyepiece is here, it is called Cassegrain reflecting mirror, telescope. If the eyepiece is here, it means the secondary mirror is plane mirror. If the secondary mirror is plane mirror, it is Newtonian telescope, reflecting telescope. If it is convex mirror, it is called Cassegrain telescope, because we have to see at this position. Here, the advantage of refracting telescope when compared with the reflecting telescope, reflecting telescope when compared with the refracting telescope is, as I already told, so the physical area available to hold the mirror is very large. First one. Second one, since we are using mirror, there is no refraction of light. If there is no refraction of light, there is no problem of chromatic aberration. If there is no problem of chromatic aberration, we can eliminate the chromatic aberration. But there are some few limitations here also. So what are all the limitations of this one is, the light should be converged inside the telescope. That is one of the limitations or disadvantages of this reflecting telescope. See, as I told, the first disadvantage of reflecting telescope is the light is converging inside the telescope. Second one is, since we are using a convex lens as an eyepiece, here also some chromatic aberration is present, not like this one. So very little bit chromatic aberrations are present. So that is the limitations of telescope. So these are all the two important optical instruments, especially telescopes. In the examination, these diagrams are very, very important. So for 2 marks, they will ask, write the ray diagram of refracting telescope. So you have to write this diagram. So one of the important thing you have to remember is, if you are missing these arrows, 6 pairs, 3 pairs of arrows, you won't get the marks. If you complete the whole diagram, even if you are not writing these arrows, you will get 0 marks, because the ray diagram is a value only when if you mention the direction of light, because a light ray consists of a direction. So don't miss to write these arrows while writing the diagram. So F0 is the focal length of objective lens, Fe is the focal length of eye lens. How to increase the magnification of the refracting telescope? By choosing a larger aperture area of the objective lens. So that is the reason we have considered. And it means magnification is directly proportional to M0 and inversely proportional. F0 and inversely proportional to Fe. So length of the telescope is F0 into Fe. This is what refracting telescope. And this is about reflecting telescope. So this is the thing after completion of the telescope. This will complete the whole topic theory in the ray optics. We already completed ray optics. See here. In the next coming video, I am going to revise all the things present in this topic. After revision, I am going to solve some problems, important problems related to this, and it will help for your NEET and CET examination also, right? So after the theory, I am going to conduct the test on this topic, right? Okay, thank you.